Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we show you damage in Perry County left behind by heavy rains and gusty winds moving throughout our region overnight. And social distancing can make trying to get to safety in severe weather a confusing situation. We'll tell you how to stay safe from the elements while also staying safe from COVID-19. And health officials warn that while the measures we are taking have been working, that does not mean we should stop anytime soon.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. The time is now 6:02, and thank you for joining us on Mountain News This Morning. My name is Lacey Roberts, and of course you can hear it outside. The rain and the wind is just coming down, and it has been since last night. Let's bring in Brandon Robinson to talk about that and wondering, I know Brandon, people are wondering if that's going to calm down and what we're going to be looking like for these next couple of days, even today, because a lot of people are without power.
Right, exactly. So we're going to continue to track more waves coming into play later this morning. Kind of calm for right now, but it's calm before the next line of storms. Let's take a look and see what's going on live Pinpoint Doppler radar. And again, we're starting to see a little bit of action into parts of central Kentucky. I'm going to take you over a little closer. You see along this line right here where all that's kind of bowing out, that means strong winds. Now, there's no warning on that, but of course it's now coming into Pulaski County and Wayne County, Rockcastle County, so there could be some strong winds in those areas. So we're keeping a very close eye on that front of that line. And then we go back to the west, we still have all that back out toward E-Town and Bowling Green, just east of Madisonville there. And again, when we take a look at those wind speeds here in a second, you'll see why. But the wind advisory continues until 2 p.m. today for most of the area, 5 p.m. for a couple of counties in Virginia and Tennessee. 26-mile-an-hour wind speed, not gust, speed right now at Owensboro, 20 in Paducah, so all that moving in this general direction. Please, WYMT.com if you have power. We're having the latest news, weather reports. I'm updating the power outages numbers right now, getting ready to post another story about some overnight damage here in Perry County. You've been great to send us stuff on social media. Keep that up. And of course, that weather app will track this next round of rain and will send you alerts if need be. Lacey?
Thank you, Brandon. And those heavy rain and wind gusts that moved through the region overnight led to power outages, blocked roads, and overall damage across several counties. Now, what you see here is footage of some of the damage that we saw in Perry County earlier this morning. Fallen trees are a common sight, and some blocking roads and falling on people's cars. Crews have been out all night doing their best to clear the fallen trees and other storm hazards. However, at this time, we do not know how long the cleanup effort will take. We will continue to keep you updated on air and on our website as damage reports and outage numbers continue to come in from around the region. And we are in a severe weather alert day, and it is important to know where to go. But with the COVID-19 pandemic and social distancing, it can be a bit confusing on what to do. Megan James explains the recommendations set by the American Meteorological Society to clear the air.
Whether it's a tornado or a severe thunderstorm, if there's inclement weather, you need to find shelter. And if you don't have a basement or an interior room, finding that shelter can be tough. And the COVID-19 pandemic doesn't make the situation any easier. On Thursday, the American Meteorological Society published their guidelines for dealing with the issue at hand. First and foremost, finding shelter ahead of any warning is a priority. Decide if there's a good place in your home to go. If there isn't, or if you live in a mobile home, a public shelter will be your best bet. But you need to do so with caution. The AMS recommends making sure that the shelter is still open to begin with. And if you are in a shelter with folks from outside your household, follow CDC guidelines. That means that once you find your shelter, social distance as much as the space allows for. And it's beneficial to wear a mask. In Lexington, meteorologist Megan James, WKYT.
Now, many of you have posted on Facebook or reached out to us about storm damage near your home or in the area that you live. Here's a picture of some damage from Pineville that the Pineville Fire Department posted on their Facebook page. Officials say there are some down power lines and a roof has blown off of a building. Again, keep your WYMT weather app handy as these heavy winds are expected to continue. Governor Andy Beshear announced last night that we have 134 new confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Kentucky. He also mentioned 3 more coronavirus-related deaths. One is a 62-year-old man from Pike County, but he also had some good news. The governor announced a new partnership with Kroger that will expand the state's capability to test for COVID-19. The first location is in Frankfort, opening as early as this morning. Shelby Smithson has the details.
The drive-through testing announced Sunday won't be the first of its kind in the state, but it will be the first provided by the state. It's through a partnership with Kroger Health, making it possible to test about 20,000 people in the next 5 weeks.
I think we've only tested about 24,000 people total. So this will almost double our number. And then, of course, we have the other 2,000 tests a day that we're ramping up for in our separate effort.
The first location opening up Monday morning at the Franklin County Fairgrounds. People wanting to get tested will go through an online screening process first to find out if they're eligible. If so, you select a testing location and appointment time that works for you. And after a confirmation email and some pre-appointment paperwork, all you need at the testing site is a photo ID.
That will provide a 48-hour turnaround for people getting their results. And this was important to me because 10 days doesn't ultimately help.
As more locations open up across the state, each testing site is expected to handle about 250 vehicles coming through per day, almost certainly increasing the number of positive cases reported, but also making sure people can seek the medical care they need. In Frankfort, Shelby Smithson, WKYT.
Now, the governor says that this drive-through testing will be free of charge, and you can register for a test at krogerhealth.com/COVID testing. You can also find that link on our website at WYMT.com. And Laurel County announced two new cases of COVID-19 last night. The Laurel County Health Department confirmed the cases, and this brings the case count in the county up to 10. Health Department officials are tracking down people that could be at risk of infection. For more information on these cases and others in Eastern Kentucky, check out our website at WYMT.com. And Kentucky is bracing for a pivotal 2 weeks against the coronavirus. Health officials warn that what we've been doing is working, and that doesn't mean that we should stop.
Not nearly as painful as what could happen during this period of time and this weekend if we let down our guard, if we surrender to how much we want to be together. There will be additional cases. If we break down our social distancing, we may lose everything that we have sacrificed for in the previous 3 to 4 weeks. We will.
Louisville Mayor Greg Fisher says Kentucky can get through this if we show discipline to not let the virus spread. And stations at iHeartRadio are helping boost spirits during the COVID-19 quarantine. 100.1 WKQQ is featuring songs each week as special tributes. The songs will be specific to different iHeartRadio stations. One station wants your input and asks for suggestions for songs Kentuckians would want to hear.
We're open to anything that's inspirational, that basically draws the true spirit of Americans and the true spirit of anybody that's in Kentucky that's fighting this battle.
Jordan says that people can still stay healthy at home because the videos will be shared on their website and Facebook page. There will be a new video every week, and you can check them out on the iHeartRadio station Facebook page. Now, yesterday we aired live Easter church services right here on WYMT. The services featured music and sermons from the Table in Louisa, the Creek in London, and the Summit in Hazard. And if you missed them, that is okay. You can go onto our website, WYMT.com, and you can watch them right there. And while most churches around the Commonwealth followed social distancing guidelines yesterday by not holding in-person services, New Height Church in Berea held a drive-in service to allow the congregation to be together while staying apart. Krista Frost was there and has more.
Getting used to our new normal isn't easy, especially on a day filled with love, family, and traditions.
The kids were looking forward to their Easter egg hunt that we always do every year, and so things have changed, but we're just doing what we think's best. We don't want to, infect anyone or get infected ourselves.
The question is, how do we stay together without being together? And that's what we're trying to do.
Easter Sunday, drive-in style. New Heights Church in Berea has used social media in previous weeks, but for them, this deserved a little more than a Facebook Live.
They still want to be able to come out and be able to at least wave or see the church family, New Heights Nation, that's what we call it.
They wanted to be together on this day, but with social distancing being a top priority, this is the way they're showing their faith.
Doors shut, they stay in the cars are 6 feet apart.
So that way, even when they're rolling down their windows to shout to one another, they're staying healthy. And this church isn't only holding a drive-in Sunday morning.
We're live streaming on YouTube, also on Facebook.
They're using 7 different mediums and streaming their services online in different parts of the day. That way anyone can celebrate this Easter healthy at home. In Berea, Krista Frost, WKYT.
And if you were not able to see a service yet, you can find New Heights service from yesterday on their Facebook page.
Our severe weather alert day coverage continues this morning. It's been an all-night issue, and it will continue to be an issue through mid-morning. Let's take a look at live pinpoint Doppler radar. And again, we're watching a couple of things now. We're watching this cluster of cells that has popped up in the last few minutes in parts of East Tennessee, and we're also watching this line that's moving into parts of southern Kentucky right now. So again, 2 things to continue to monitor. These cells down this way popped up in the last few minutes. So again, kind of watching those as well, popping up ahead of the frontal boundary. We take a look at some of our active warnings. There is a flood warning for the Cumberland River at Baxter in Harlan County until 8:30 tonight, and that's going to be some high waters running down that way. Our mesonet sensors are down there, but I believe at last check they were closing in on 3 inches of rain in Harlan County. Look at the wind speeds right now cranking in parts of the I-75 corridor in Lake Cumberland, 29 miles per hour at Monticello, 13 at Somerset, and 17 in London. Again, that's actual wind speed, not gust. Visibility taking a hit too, especially where that rain's really coming down in parts of central Kentucky. Temperatures will take a hit as the front comes through, still in the 60s in most locations right now. And 63 was our daytime high. It will drop as we head through the daytime hours into the 50s and 40s and eventually into the 30s overnight. Lacey.
Thank you, Brandon, and thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. And coming up, former Vice President Joe Biden is laying out his vision on how to reopen the country after the coronavirus outbreak slows down.